Hi, everyone. Welcome to the second week of our new podcast, A Game of Two Halves, where we talk about all the week in and out of the Premier League and football and the sorts. This week, I'm joined once again by Dale and Jim. We have no Kev this week. We're working to get him back on at some point. He's just having troubles with timings and stuff.
Right, he was at work.
So,
when
say hello, boys.
Hello.
Hello there.
There we go.
Well,
Dale, if you would like to start us off talking about our last week predictions as well.
Okie dokie. So, match week 26 of 38 we predicted. So it was Man City versus West Ham. Kev, he predicted a 4-0 victory to Man City. Alex, you predicted a 2-0 victory. Jim predicted a 3-1. And I predicted a 3-2.
Okay, so two of us was a goal off.
Yeah.
That ain't too bad. But to be fair, the match was a lot closer than what I thought it was going to be anyway. The problem is, I didn't expect it, but I should have expected it with Lingard in the absolute form of his life right now.
Oh, 100%. Like, the kid, he got an assist for the goal for Antonio, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely a shot, though.
Oh, definitely. He was trying a little cheeky flick, wasn't he? So,
Yeah, like,
definitely an accidental assist. It'll still count to the stat, but it's definitely an accidental assist.
yeah, it's definitely.
he didn't mean to at all. But the fact of the matter is, like, the past 4 games, he has been in an incredible amount of form. And for me, when United are struggling, they would need him right now to play.
I agree. Because it'll give a different dynamic compared to just Bruno, just relying on Bruno and Pogba. But obviously, Pogba's out injured, but
That's been weirdly enough, it's been your Achilles heel.
Mm-hmm.
Pogba getting injured. He was
I agree.
being the silent man, even though he was still in the spotlight for Pogba. But like for Pogba's spotlight, he weren't really like in it.
I mean, look when we got first in the Premier League in January. Pogba was fit, well, playing games, scored an essential 1-0 winner.
But
you know what I mean?
Speaking of midfielders, De Bruyne's back. He's back in the team. Either foot, left foot. Oh my god, his quality
That left
is
foot pass.
he's
Lift it to Diaz.
his quality is unreal, man. Like both feet, like either foot, just delivery is inch perfect with both feet, and I don't think there's a player that can do that in the Premier League. Like, everyone's got their qualities. Like, Fernandes, his right foot is godlike. Like, he can find anyone, he can shoot, he can do everything. But he can't do it as good with his left foot, whereas De Bruyne can do anything on both feet. And if them two were in the same team, oh my Gideon, like, rip any defence that come up against them two if they were in the same team. You know, his little stat for you. He's in top 10 of all-time Prem assists now.
3 behind Beckham.
I believe, 3 behind. Yeah. He's stupidly good. De Bruyne is, but it could have been a lot tighter. I mean, Antonio hit the post, like
he did.
Smashed the post.
He had another chance and he just hit it wide as well.
Yeah.
He's a quality player, Antonio.
Seconds of the game, they had the opportunity just wide. Free header.
Yeah, that is why he should be in the England setup.
I will say it was Diop who missed that chance in the last second, though.
Yeah, it was.
Antonio.
Oh, yeah. Which also, a ball came from Jesse Lingard.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, like, Lingard has stepped up tremendously. Like, it's given a headache to anyone who has to, like, pick that position now.
I don't see him coming back to United and playing for United. That's the problem.
Me neither.
I think
you have a very good setup in midfield at the moment with what Ollie's got going on.
Yeah,
and I don't see Lingard getting into that at all.
I agree.
With Fred in there next to Pogba now. With Fred also in the form of his life, but we'll move on to that later. But like Fred in there and Pogba and Fernandes, Lingard won't get in. But I think he'll be happy at West Ham. I think him keeping out basically Pablo Fornals and Lanzini, like. Because obviously they'll play like Jarrod Bowen one side and who do they usually play on the other?
Yeah, I'm not sure. Stuff. Yeah, to be fair.
Yeah, That's what I mean. So like, Lingard will thrive under Moyes and West Ham. Also, Moyes, his old manager, of course, is going to love him. Weirdly enough, did you guys see that interview that Pep did? How much he loves Moyes. Just that weird little bromance that he had off him in the interview.
I reckon he loves Moyes that much because he didn't go to the Manchester United job and flop like Moyes did. That's probably why he loves him so much. that's what he probably he thanks David Moyes for making probably could have been the biggest mistake of his career. So,
maybe, yeah, to try and step him. To be fair, he wouldn't have flopped at Man U. The Pep's too good to flop at Man U. If he would have took over from Ferguson, he wouldn't have flopped. You just didn't have the balls.
He's going to make Phil Jones into Iniesta. No, he's not.
Dow.
No.
Look what he's done for John Stones.
Exactly.
Alex.
Exactly my point.
John Stones and Ruben Diaz effect is in full swing, bro. They both scored.
Yeah. When he went to City under Pep Guardiola, bearing in mind Pep bought him in.
Yeah,
spent 50 million on the kid, and you're expecting instant results, but he wasn't. You know what I mean? But at the same point, you talk about Phil Jones when he was at Man United, and Fergie said he could be the best player Man United's ever had. It's similar things. You expect big things, and like they haven't. You know, their careers just
got to give him time.
He's got his rebirth. He's got his rebirth on the Guardiola. He's saying he would have done that to Phil Jones.
100%. Phil Jones is the biggest muppet I've ever seen play for Manchester United.
But to actually bring it back to John Stones, like him and Rib, I said this to my co-worker yesterday. I said, if you are Pep, and obviously Laporte's come back from injury and he played, but because you're going to rotate, it's midweek. But does Laporte start in the form that Stones and Diaz are in? Do you start Laporte? Does he come in?
At the moment, I'd simply just say no.
You can't, can you?
When you get a good centre back partnership, you
don't
keep
mess
that centre back partnership. Don't fix what isn't broken.
Yeah.
What's the crazy stat now? They've conceded
So,
3, scored 5.
Stones and Diaz have scored more goals since they've been together themselves than they've conceded goals as a partnership.
That's why it's like
mental.
16 games, eh?
Yeah.
16 games.
In 16 games, they've scored more goals.
What a stat!
And that's what you want, though. That's what you want.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Exactly.
He just knew what he was doing like that. The pairing of them, a genius to go and buy Diaz as well.
Yeah.
The scouting team to go, he looks all right. Portuguese. They're going to win the World Cup, but it all looks all right. Bring him in.
Before Wolves get him.
Yeah, quick.
Didn't he?
Yeah.
No, Benfica.
I think.
I think he used to play for Sporting. Of course he did.
Probably.
What good Portuguese player doesn't?
True.
You know what I mean? But back onto the actual game, like you got Antonio knowing exactly where to be for Lingard's goal, for Lingard's shot pass, let's call it. When he scored, he just knew where to be. It's just that striker's instinct, and he's got it. And
not bad for a right back.
Yeah, not bad for a right back. Winger, centre mid, centre back, left winger, striker, goalkeeper,
coach, manager, sports physio. What?
But yeah, and also I read down.
I see a good career as a sporting director.
Oh. I also read down here about Kevin De Bruyne skipping past Diop and setting Aguero up, and Aguero just completely missing. And I'm like, bro,
it's going to be a while before Aguero gets back to his usual.
Oh, he's still rusty.
To be fair, Aguero's on his way out. Like, not saying out his club, but out his like tenure as a footballer.
He's done his time at City. He's a legend, club legend.
Oh yeah, 100%. Like,
look at David Silva, company. They're both moved on.
Yeah, I think he's hit that age now where he needs to go to a slower league. Like, he can still do it, 100%. Aguero can still do it. He can still score. He can still do all the business. But the problem is that everybody's getting that bit quicker again, and he's not as quick anymore. And I think,
and the constant knocks.
The hamstrings and knee injuries that he gets, like, it's just not helping him. And Gabriel Jesus is also a good striker, but I wouldn't put him as a starting striker for Man City. They have to go now and find a good striker to replace Aguero.
It's either going to be Haaland or Messi or both. That's literally
you know what? As much I know it's Man City and everything, but if they went and got both, I would love it. Messi and Haaland in the Premier League. Like, you just want it. Like, even if it's a rival team, you just want the best players in the league.
Even though I'd hate it, it would be nice to see, and I'd probably have more credibility for Messi.
Yeah.
So,
but then for me, like, obviously, like, there's the whole Messi Ronaldo debate and everything. Like, Ronaldo is obviously, for me, just tipping the GOAT scale because he has done it in other leagues. Not denying Messi's skill, but if Messi was to come to our league and destroy it, I think that's when the debate just isn't a debate. It's they're both the GOAT. They're both amazing. Like, they've both done it in both leagues. Like, they've both smashed it. Like, I just think there's no debate.
But if Ronaldo wins the
both
World Cup in 2022, that's 10 for me. It's over for me. You know what I mean? So,
yeah, Ronaldo goes and wins the 2022 World Cup, and you're like, I've won more.
yeah.
If we bring it back quickly to the Man City West Ham game, I have one question about West Ham.
Yeah.
So they're obviously like teetering on the brink of a Champions League spot at the moment, and they continue to perform even though we expect them to tail off.
Yeah.
And one thing I'd written down about them is, are we doing a Leicester in their situation? So the year that Leicester won the league, even though they kept on winning, everyone was like, oh, they'll tail off at some point. They'll tail off. They won't win the league. They won't win the league. And then obviously did. Are people, and us included, doing the same thing about West Ham?
You know what? Yeah, we are. We were The problem is we're saying we're expecting them to tail off. So when they do, everyone's like, oh, yeah, we called it. But they still did really well. Whereas if we keep saying, oh, they'll tail off, they'll fall off, their form's going to drop, and they don't, it just proves everyone wrong then. And then it proves that they're really good. Hence the Leicester game. Also, Mason Mount's just scored an absolute banger.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's go on to the next game, shall we?
Yep.
West Ham, Brighton. What a game that was.
You mean West Brom?
What did I say? West Ham.
West Ham.
West Ham on the brain. Sorry. West Brom, Brighton. What a game that was. So Kev predicted 0-0. Alex predicted a 2-1 West Brom. Jim predicted a 1-0. And I predicted a 1-1. So, Jim, do you want to start it off? One, you go for it.
I won't start with the obvious thing. We'll move on to that. I want to talk about the good bits first, then the massive controversial bit. So, I will say Bartley's recent form has been incredible. It's what's kept us alive at the minute. His recent form is seriously giving us hope, and I'm loving it.
I agree.
For Burnley, for Brighton, that their Connolly, that I can't remember his first name, but Connolly played. Aaron Connolly played really well and definitely should have scored. He missed that volley, didn't he? Right in front of goal, basically an open goal. But he put his foot through it instead of placing it. He played. Oh my God, he was so deadly against us. I was scared. Every time we got the ball, I was scared. And he is a really good player. For them, what's his name? The really skillful one that they've got.
McAllister.
No, the winger. Somebody remind me.
Trossard.
Thank you. Leandro Trossard. He was fairly quiet for them, but same as us. We had Pereira, who was really quiet. Maitland-Niles had a massive miss. Morpay also had a miss. Like, the game just had a lot of chances, and somebody had to take them. Unfortunately, I will say this. You might say what you want about that free kick. You don't go and miss 2 penalties to win the game, and then
something I was gonna like
and complain about a free kick.
That's what I was gonna come on to. Was you talk about like the free kick? I was gonna like label the entire game as set piece gate.
Yeah,
because Brighton can't put a ball in between the white sticks twice from 12 yards out from a free shot.
Yeah, literally.
It's exactly what you said. You can't. Yeah, the free kick's a big talking point, and it would have obviously meant something different. But before that, they missed a penalty, and after that, they've missed a penalty. They've had an easy chance to rectify it, and haven't. 2
clean chances on goal, basically, to score, and they've missed them both. Like, you can't. Yeah. It's not even like they were both saved. They both hit the post. Like, they both hit one hit the bar.
I'm pretty sure Johnson dived the wrong way both times, so he wasn't getting anywhere near him.
Both times. Although Johnston did make some really good saves in the game again. Like, Bartley and Johnston together they've hit let's say, the form of their lives. Like, they have been unbelievable. But, and there is a big but, all in all, the game should have finished. The game should have finished 1-1, and we all know that.
We'll say there's a big asterisk, big asterisk over this win.
Like, the free kick into it's a goal.
It's a goal.
It's a goal.
I agree.
It's 100%. It's not our fault. It's not Johnston's fault, and it's definitely not the Brighton players' fault that they've put the ball in the net and Lee Mason's had a panic attack. Because that's what happened. He blew his whistle. They took it quickly, and he went shit. Blew his whistle again. He had and it weren't VAR's fault because they went back and checked, and he did blow the whistle twice before the ball crossed the line. So VAR actually did their job that game.
Yeah,
it was the whole problem was Lee Mason having a complete mare that game, and he did. He had a complete mare because for me, the second penalty that was given wasn't a penalty. He flicked the ball away, and the player tripped over Townsend. And
I think, my question with that looked like a very it should have been a penalty, and I was very surprised that it wasn't even checked.
Yeah, it weren't even looked at. That's what I mean. So like the first one, 100% penalty. You can't jump in the air with your hands doing this over the shoulder of another player, because we all know about hands, don't we, Dal?
Yeah.
Which we'll move on to. But yeah, you can't jump in the air like that, and the second penalty, it's not a pen. If it was given for me, I'd think it'd be very lucky, and given against me, I think it's very harsh. Like, I'm very not biased with this game because essentially, if you look at the thing as a whole, we didn't really create another big chance. So, apart from the Maitland-Niles miss, but Brighton had 3 chances. Like, they had the free kick, which was in the net, and the 2 penalties. So really, we should have lost 3-1. But
and they had a chance from about 6 yards out, which was skied over the bar.
That was that Connolly miss. 100%. So he should have put that away. So if Maitland-Niles puts his away and they put their chances away and the free kick stays, we've lost 4-2 anyway. So it doesn't really matter. But the game was just, it was.
Well,
I've never seen
The last time it was Dunk, it wasn't. It was
Ryan Dunk took the free kick.
Dunk,
Dunk took the free kick.
Last time he did that was against Liverpool. And it was allowed.
Yeah, because
exactly. Yeah.
He took it. He asked the ref, "Can I take it quickly?" The ref went, "Yep," and he took it and stunned Liverpool with it. And that's all he did this time. He went, "Can I?" See, for me, like you said, Al, why? Like, we don't understand why we have to wait for the goalkeepers, but. If Lee Mason's looking to see if the goalkeeper's ready, and he's clearly not in the right position, why is Lee Mason blew the whistle in the first place?
Exactly. So the way I saw it was, and this is coming from someone who plays in goal, who will always stick up for goalkeepers no matter what. Lee Mason, there's no reason for him to blow the whistle the second time unless he's realised that Sam Johnstone isn't ready. And in that case, why hasn't he looked to make sure he's ready before he's blew the whistle the first time? Because as we've all said, it should be a goal. He's looked, he's got everything sorted. He's blew the whistle, Lewis Dunk shot, it's gone in. It's a goal, no matter what way you look at it. Johnston may be peeved that he wasn't ready, but it's not up to him. It's up to the referee.
Yeah.
And Lee Mason's obviously made that judgment that everyone's ready, and it should just count.
It should have counted. That the referee does not have to wait for a goalkeeper.
No, 100%.
To get ready.
I said this to Jim when we were talking about it afterwards. I've played a Sunday League game where I've been on the post organising a wall, and the referees looked at me and said, "It's the direct free kicks they can shoot." Cool, yeah. As I'm still setting the wall up, the referee's blown the whistle, and I've just had to completely forget about setting my wall up, and I've got in and set myself in position, so I'm not caught out. My wall, the ball, they've had the free kick, it's gone in because my wall isn't set up, but that's just the way it has to be. Sam Johnstone should know as soon as the whistle's gone, it's.
I'm sure I was playing that game. I'm sure you didn't have your wall quite to the left, did you? And they just put it round the left-hand side of the wall.
Yeah, they put it around the wall when in top bins. It was a good free kick, but my wall wasn't in the right place.
Yeah,
but it's as we've all said, it should have counted. Lee Mason has had the biggest of mares in this situation.
100%.
So one thing I didn't realise as well, I only realised it afterwards when Paul Merson talked about it on Saturday. Lee Mason had So blown the whistle, blown it again, disallowed it.
Yeah.
He then allowed the goal.
Yeah, which is a mistake.
VAR then said and put it on the screen in front of the stand so everyone saw it that the goal had been disallowed. And then Lee Mason went to go and check it.
Yeah.
So after VAR had made the decision, he's then gone over to the monitor to check it. It's an absolute farce. Where in all of that is the communication? There's clearly none.
There's none.
There's absolutely none.
There's
It's an absolute farce.
Yeah, it's just it's hard to think of words to describe it without sounding like very harsh. But like it is. He's panicked is what's happened, but he's not just panicked over the fact that I've blown the whistle and then I've blown it again. Oh no, like kind of thing. He's panicked about that. Panicked, he's disallowed a perfectly good goal, but he's already blown the whistle twice. So even if right, this is what gets me. Even if it was like legit and fine, he's blew the whistle twice before the ball's gone over the line. So either way, they have to take the free kick again. So him then going, it's allowed, has made another mistake. And then disallowing it again is like another mistake.
In that 5-minute period where no one knew what was going on, the amount of mistakes he made is unreal. And by all means, he may have been injured. Yeah. But the fact that he has now been injured for his next 2 games is it just an excuse? Is he just getting out of it to get out of the spotlight?
Yeah, he's getting
Something
out
like
of
that.
it. The thing is, the panic set in. Once the panic set in, that was it. It was over. He should have just took a minute, told everyone to go away and say, "Give me a minute." Like, just. Yeah. I don't mind referees that take time. I'd rather a ref take time to make a decision and be 100%. So if VAR go and look at it, and he goes to the monitor and it takes him 30 seconds to look at it and then come to a decision, I don't have an issue with that. I don't have an issue because he's making sure it's the right decision. Like, I understand it taking like 10-15 minutes, like a bit of a piss take, but when it's like 30 seconds to a minute, I don't mind that. If it's a really controversial decision, take your time, make the decision right. Or even if it's a wrong decision, just be confident that it's your decision no matter what. Yeah. Like,
So, one thing that really interested me after the game was Lewis Dunk's post-match interview. Yeah. Where they were like, what was your opinion on it? And Lewis Dunk was like, it shouldn't even be me you're asking. It should be Lee Mason. He's the one who should come out here and just explain what was going on and why he's done what he's done.
I agree with what he says, that I think referees should actually be interviewed after
the game?
Yeah, because it's not fair. Because to change it real quick, Rangers, the referee, I don't know the referee's name, sent off Steven Gerrard for apparently an appalling decision that the referee made. Why is it they have the power to scrutinise other people, and yet when they're in the ring,
they don't get any spotlight? See. If Mike Dean was to come out and get interviewed, he wouldn't have got half the heat he had. If he would have come out and got interviewed,
explained his why you think,
explained his decision as to why he made that choice, I think he wouldn't have got half the heat he would have got. See,
100%.
Like, that referee that sent off Gerrard, I've seen the clip, I've watched it and everything. Right, the talking point is he gave him a yellow, and Gerrard was walking off. Why then did the ref call him over to give him another yellow and then a red card when Gerrard had walked off? Gerrard had his dispute. He's had his dispute. The ref goes, yellow card, and Gerrard goes, okay then, and just walks off. And like his coach walks over next to him and they're talking.
The ref feels he was still talking as he was walking off. So what? It's not in your face.
Exactly.
He's allowed to monitor himself to the locker room.
He can complain about a decision to his coaches perfectly. That's perfectly fine.
If you're going to do that, you're going to have to send off every single fan that thinks you've made the wrong decision in the stadium.
Exactly. Like,
literally.
That thinking was flawed. Yeah, give him a yellow card. He come up. He was aggressive with you. Like, he was proper in your face, like, about the decision and that. But then he walked off once you give him the yellow card. Why did you need to bring him back?
I believe it was against
Livingston.
No,
the different one.
another instance back to do with sending off managers. Carlo Ancelotti got sent off, and I believe it was against Manchester United when the Calvert-Lewin goal was disallowed.
Yeah.
Because even though it should have been a goal, it should have stood. That should not have been disallowed. And Ancelotti, after the game, went mad and got sent off at the end of the game.
I remember having to talk myself out of a yellow card in Sunday League when I almost got one for literally slapping the ground for a decision I made. So the bloke was running down the wing and I tackled him, but I flicked it off his leg as I tackled him. But the decision didn't go my way. It wasn't a goal kick. It went for a corner. So I was sat on the floor after my slide tackle, sat on the floor and was like, oh, like, fucking hell, like that. And the ref called me over and was about to give me a yellow card. And he was like, if you speak to me like that again, I'll give you... I was like, hold on. I'm literally just getting angry that I didn't make a better decision. Why was I trying to flick it off his leg in the first place? Why didn't I just see it out for a throw-in? That's what I was angry about. And then the decision didn't go my way. I just needed to let vent. It's like some referees just love it, I think. Just love the controversy.
It's the power that they have too much control.
Yeah, but...
The only time I've ever seen a referee come out after a game, and like this was years ago, and the only time I've ever remember it is because on like Premier League years and stuff, and like he comes out after a game, talks about like his couple of controversial decisions, and then straight afterwards, like the pundits and stuff all praise him and say like it's very rare to see that, and I think agreeing what you guys just said, it should happen a lot more often.
Yeah, I mean, if a ref has a good game, gets all the decisions right, well, you're not going to get all of them, but gets most of the decisions right.
Yeah.
There's no controversy. He like does everything he's meant to, and he has a good game. He doesn't need to come out and do an interview. But if there's a decision where it is very controversial and really doesn't go the way it should have, they should come out and talk to the people and get interviewed. Like, if they come out and say, VAR told me to have a look at it, I had a look at it and it changed my mind, that's fine. If he goes, VAR told me to look at it and I went over and I still didn't think it was enough, that's fine. Because you're explaining your thought process, you're explaining what's happening, you're explaining the communication between you and the video assistant referee. You're explaining it and people are starting to understand. Like, I don't understand why we cannot hear the conversations that go on between referees. Why we can't hear that? Rugby has it, cricket has it. Why can't we hear it? Why we can't hear it? I do not know. It's the most stupid thing on the planet. Like I'm like, bro, just let us hear what the conversation is. Like that video of the Australian ref going to the VAR, and he's like, "Do I go to the screen?" He's like, "Yeah, have a look." And he's like, what number was he? Number 17. And he's like, "Yeah." And he looks and he's like, "Oh yeah, definite red. I made the mistake." Walks over, blows him over, red card. But you hear the conversation between them, and it's like they, you know what I mean? They fully understand what they're doing.
Yeah, I think it'll just give clarity to fans as well.
100%.
Yeah, exactly.
And obviously, be more sympathetic if a decision goes wrong or whatever, maybe.
Yeah.
To the
Round
last point we'll do about this game. The question I'll have is, and I think we'll all have the same answer for it as we move on, is does the standard of refereeing in England at the moment need to be improved?
Yes,
100%.
100%. There are some referees that are really, really good, and that's why they don't get noticed, because they are really good. They do their job. Like, you do your job. Like, if you do your job well, you're not going to get noticed really by the public. And that's what they're doing. They're doing the job really well, so they're not getting noticed. The ones that are in the public figure right now and in the public eye are the ones that are doing their job badly.
I think that the problem is why the referees are being mentioned so much in the past 2-3 years is due to the fact, and I blame the FA for it, for bringing out all these rules, and the refs themselves, when they go into a game, I believe, honestly, hand on heart, that they don't know the rules of the game, 100%. If you ask them to read the rule book out to you, they could not read the rule book out to you. They're professional. They're professional. The FA referees, you know what I mean? But they don't know what's actually a red card, what's an offside, what's a goal, what's not a goal. They're confused. They have not a Scooby-Doo. Same with the VAR. They ain't got a Scooby-Doo. It's make it up as they go along, and that's because that all comes from the top. You know what I mean?
The problem is they change the rules too often. That's the issue. They keep changing the rules way too much.
You know what Dal said?
Yeah.
Like what Dal said is like, especially like the handball rule that's been going on, the offside rule that's changed this season because of an incident with Man City and
Yeah.
Aston Villa.
Yeah.
Like, I agree. I agree. Like it is from the top down. Like there needs to be just like a bit more. Like just have like take the summer and have an intense retraining program to make sure everyone knows what the rules are going to be. They may already do this. We don't know. But they need to have, get them all together, tell them what the rules are going to be, if there's going to be any rule changes, and just get a lot of practice with VAR because that's also an issue.
Yeah, just practice with it. So, because we can't carry on this conversation.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to
Yeah,
end it off.
we'll
move on.
Got a long list of games, so we got Leeds Villa next. Kev predicted a 2-2 draw. Jim predicted 2-1 Leeds. Al predicted 2-0 Leeds, and I predicted 3-1 Leeds. How wrong was all of
got
it?
wrong.
Yeah, cool, sick.
I will
1-0 Villa in the end.
I will start.
All I want to say before Jim starts off is
alright.
I predicted that Villa were gonna lose purely because they were without Grealish.
Yeah.
And it has shown that I was almost right because they've gone on to lose Sheffield United this week.
Because they haven't had Grealish.
Because they haven't had Grealish.
That was literally the headline.
I was right.
It's the wrong game.
Just completely wrong. Carry on.
The
Jim,
wrong
what are you
game.
gonna say?
I was going to say, I'm going to start off with how awful was that pitch. A Premier League quality side has a pitch like that. In the first 2 minutes, Bamford slipped and nearly played somebody through. He went for a shot, he slipped over and nearly played somebody through, just like Watkins did. Watkins went for a shot, slipped, played El Ghazi through, and that's how their goal came about. Completely accidental. Watkins was shooting, and it's just like Antonio's goal with Lingard.
He was not assist, didn't he?
Oh,
He was going for a curling shot.
yeah, it was
It was a
definitely.
poor curling shot.
But because the pitch was that bad and everybody was on their arse most of the time, like they just slipped over and it went through to him. But fair play to Villa because they dug in big time. Like Leeds peppered them. Like not so much peppered them with shots, but they peppered them with possession and the way they were playing. Like they definitely were going to score at some point. But fair play to Villa, they dug in, fought it, and was like, nah.
I think McGinn had for me, a man on that performance.
he had a very very good
like
game.
A dog.
Yeah,
he was in the pits.
But he's always like it, and I'd really like McGinn because he loves it.
I was going to say, I feel like McGinn's a very underrated piece of the puzzle at Villa at the moment. All the headlines are going to the likes of Watkins, Traore, and Grealish, but McGinn is such a battler in that midfield. It's exactly what they've needed.
Yeah,
100%.
100%. I will say, though, on the flip side, since he's come in for Leeds, Tyler Roberts has been playing really well lately, which he has been. And it's a bit weird to say somebody's playing well when you're just constantly losing, but he has been playing really well recently. But the one thing that does my head in is the play acting. Oh my god. There was an incident in the game where Llorente went down under Watkins' tackle, right? Llorente went down play acting like he'd been killed. Like literally somebody had beheaded his arm or something. Like I know I said beheaded his arm because he'll lose his head then his arm. And literally the moment he didn't get the decision and Watkins went...
Good save.
And Watkins went, get up, right? The moment it happened, he got up to try and fight him like nothing had happened. Oh, Dow's died. And the moment it happened, he got up to try and fight him.
Has died.
And I was literally there like, what happened to your injury? I thought he tackled you that hard that you're injured. And he just never responded. I was like, dude.
Yeah.
Come on, you don't have to play. Play acting is a plague across the game, and I can't stand it. And Leeds are the worst for it. I said this to my coworker.
There was Carry on.
Sorry, yeah. I said this to my coworker. I turned around and went.
Carry on.
The issue is that every team has that one player. So, like, Man U have Fernandes, West Brom have Pereira, Villa have Grealish. Like, everybody has their one player that does it. And it is a plague across the league. But Leeds, it's all of them. Not a single player doesn't do it.
That's something I was going to mention. Like, not watching enough of Leeds games at the moment to see any like play acting, but there has been like a video that's gone viral on Twitter, and it was like
Yeah.
Leeds fans complaining that Target was a diver, and then it showed all the instances of Leeds players just diving and play acting all season.
But it's all of them. It's not just one. It's not like, because I hate Bamford. It's Bamford all the time. I hate's a strong word. I just dislike him because of his play acting, and he has stopped it this season. But it usually would be Bamford. But this season, it's been all of them. The likes of Calvin Phillips, who I didn't think would be doing it. The Rafinha, even though he's an unreal player, has been doing it. Alioski, like, they've all been doing it. And I'm like, bro, just chill. What you doing?
We'll move on swiftly. I'll just have I'll try and put like a little question in of every match so we can have like a bit of talk and then move on. The question I've got for this one is: this season, do we see Villa getting any kind of European football?
Nah.
Because if they have their games in hands, they can get near the Champions League spaces. But obviously, we also talk about West Ham and Everton in those spaces.
No.
And obviously, Europa League can go down to 7th. Do we see Villa being a top 7 club this season?
No.
Unfortunately, not. Like, West Ham and Everton just have too much. They'll just beat them there. It's just the way it is. And losing Grealish has been one of the worst things of their season. Losing Grealish has literally choked them out.
Currently today, they're 9th in the Premier League with 39 points. Obviously, 2 games in hand or a game in hand.
That's what I was going to mention.
On certain teams. The thing is, Villa have had games in hand all season, have not capitalised on them games in hand. They'll either go for a draw or a loss. Then by the time everyone else has played, they'll then get the win, but they're not capitalising on those games in hand. At one stage, Villa had 4 games in hand. That's 12 points. They could have been first at one stage, Villa, if they won all 4 of them games. And then they had 3 games in hand, could have went in top 4. But they just keep losing it important moments when they need to win.
I agree.
So,
I was going to say, they are very inconsistent. Villa have been very inconsistent this season in the sense that, like, you look back and they beat Liverpool 7-2, and this was Liverpool before their injury crisis where they had the likes of Van Dijk and everyone in. And then they've lost to Sheffield United yesterday or today. Yesterday, wasn't it? 1-0.
Yesterday, yeah.
Like
1-0.
The worst team in the league. They lost 2-1-0. Like, they're too far up and down. I agree. I don't think they're coming 7th because I see the likes of Everton, West Ham, and Leicester.
Yeah, also, all up there.
Spurs as well, who picking up form, getting wins again. So
Arsenal.
Yeah.
Arsenal creeping behind them. So
speaking of.
Yep. Let's move on to the next one now.
Okay, next game is Crystal Palace and Fulham. So Kev predicted 2-0 Crystal Palace. Jim predicted 2-1. Alex predicted a 1-1, and I predicted a 1-0. So Alex was correct with the draw. Said,
I just didn't think it was going to be as boring as it was.
Man, I literally struggled to write notes on this game. Like, the Man United Chelsea game was bad. This was worse. Like, Man United Chelsea game has 1 talking point. This has none. Not a single talking point. It was so dull. Yeah. It was so dull.
The only thing you can say is, I believe Zaha has been... When Zaha's played, he's contributed to 18 of the last 25 goals or scored or something like that. I don't know the exact stat, but he's out.
Yeah,
they've lost their main man. Yeah, he's the main man. Obviously, Eze ain't been the Zaha we thought he could be, or
But the thing is, Eze is a playmaker, and that's the thing. Like, but when you're missing your top goal scorer, essentially your talisman, Eze ain't got no one to pass to. As good as Benteke is, Eze can't magically make Benteke start scoring again.
Exactly. Yeah.
I feel like it's become something that we're going to see a lot of for the rest of the season, especially with Fulham. They're grinding the 0-0s, the 1-0s
to try and.
I feel like that's what we're going to see a lot of the rest of the season. Even today, they only managed a 1-0 loss. And that's to a very informed Spurs side.
We are, I think, 6 points behind them, and they're 3 points off safety. So, like, we're 9 points adrift, they're 3. So, like, they're just gonna keep pushing to get within a point or 2.
For Fulham, it's a great result.
100%.
Yeah,
100%.
The thing is the way Sorry.
Go on. Go on.
It's the way I'm looking at it at the minute with the Albion. I'm like, every point we get is a point gained. Not say like, oh, we're 1-0 up and then we'll draw 1-1. I'm like, I don't care. It's still a point more than what we'd usually get. So it's a point, and that's the way they're looking at it. That's how they're playing. That's how they're grinding out results. That's how they're like.
Agree.
It's a every point is a point gained, whether it's 3 or 1.
Yeah. Al, have you got a question for this? Or was it that boring? You don't know.
One good question I'll do, and unfortunately it doesn't like talk about those two. I was going to say, when it comes to Crystal Palace, we all see them as a one-man team at the moment. Can you name any other team in the last 5 years that has been as one man as Crystal Palace?
Spurs Bale.
Back before.
No, that wasn't 5 years.
It's more than 5 years ago, though.
Way more than 5
Oh,
years
yeah, it
ago.
has been.
2013,
Jeez.
Yeah.
God,
2016. We'll go back to Leicester's title winning season. From that point onwards, is there a more one-man team than Crystal Palace, in your opinion?
Even though they went down, Timo Pukki for Norwich.
Maybe.
I
I will say, I wouldn't say that because I think Norwich had a good free. They had a good spine.
Buendia.
They had
Buendia.
Buendia. They had they had Cantwell, who was doing well that season. Pukki and Tim Krul in goal was awesome as well.
It was just a shame that the rest of the team couldn't uphold. Well, to be fair, they had a young squad, didn't they? Like Aaron's and...
Yeah, and you look at them in the Championship this season, they're coming straight back.
Oh, yeah.
So.
100%.
Premier League can't get rid of them.
I don't have any. I can't think of any.
I can't really think of any off the top of my head.
There we go. Well, there you go. Our first award, the most one-man team in the last 5 years, is Crystal Palace.
Yeah.
Okay then.
need a little trophy on the screen now.
Well,
they can have my little Dumbo. There you go.
So, next game. Good game. Interesting game. Spurs Burnley. So, this was
Shares
the
my
predictions
catchphrase.
here. So,
I think all of our predictions are so wrong.
Kev predicted a 0-0. Oof. Jim predicted a 1-0 Burnley. Alex predicted a 0-0.
Yep.
And I predicted a 3-1 to Spurs. So
You were the closest.
You were the closest.
You were the closest.
4-0 in the end. 4-0 to Spurs, by the way. But,
Yeah.
Like, the quote I've put down for myself, because I said it, I went, Spurs' first half performance was some serious heat. That's literally, it's in quotation marks because I said it.
Moore could have got like 2.
Oh
Kane
my
could have got a couple more.
God.
Well, it's the first time I've seen it in a while at Spurs. They're like the front four. If that front four starts and performs constantly, and the fact that you got Bale, Kane, and Son, who are awesome, and Lucas Moura, who we spoke last week, who's probably like the most underappreciated.
He's
Spurs
very
player.
he's very underrated. Yeah.
Like if that front four is like firing on all cylinders the way they were, they can easily be unbeatable.
Ah,
Well, Bale got 2 goals and an assist.
Yeah. Like we joked about how like they beat that Wolfsburger team 4-0 in midweek, and how like they basically beat like a cheap pub team.
Yeah.
But then they came and did a very similar performance on Saturday against Burnley, and made Burnley look exactly the same. And bearing in mind, that's Nick Pope in goal, who I'd class as England's number 1 at the moment.
Yeah.
The thing is, he made some very good saves in the game.
Yeah, he did.
He just had poor defence in front of him on the day.
Well, insane saves. He saved that one from Lucas before he scored his, where Lucas most definitely should have scored, but Pope rushed at his feet and just saved it, and it was a great save.
Son was given in the corner.
Yeah, tip. He made some good saves. So that really, they should have got bladdered like 7-8.
Oh yeah, I agree. It should have been a lot more.
But Bale's pass to Harry Kane,
Sublime, sensational.
I'm an advocate for passing, and I watched it and I was like, I was like, Bale.
I mean, defender should have probably done better because he jumped a bit early to get the ball.
Nah, it was too. Bale, Kane had gone. That's the thing. If he doesn't reach for it, he's still chasing Kane anyway, and he wouldn't have caught him. So he had to do something. Going for it was pretty much the only option. It was just too much of a good ball. Like the pass was just, and he didn't break stride or anything.
Kane, because there was a lot of running he had to do. Kane did.
Well, he took 3 touches and then shot. That's the thing. You've got to get in front of him.
the pressure of the player behind him, I don't think Kane would have scored. That was just me.
Well, it
me
took a
personally.
deflection anyway, so I
Yeah.
Yeah,
still
did.
think it would have
He did
gone in.
take- He did take a deflection. You're right.
That's
about
what I mean. Like, you've got to get to Kane by the time he takes 3 touches and shoots, and it took a deflection. That's the only issue. It was just the ball was that good. Same as Son's pass to Bale for Bale's goal. The cross deceived everyone. Instead of whipping it round the back to everyone, he just chipped it in between 2 of them, and Bale was there.
The touch from Bale.
It was lovely. Spurs just dominated, and I think the issue was that Burnley just struggled with the basics in defending.
Yeah.
They just really did.
Yeah.
They were at
Which
6s
is
and
very
7s all game.
Yeah, which is very like uncharacteristic for Sean
Yeah.
Dyche's Burnley as well.
Well, he was
You know,
honest,
didn't
wasn't
know
he?
how to be.
In his interview, he said they just didn't know how to defend all of a sudden, and he don't know what's going
I
on.
love his honesty. I, just
I love his
honesty.
honesty as well. When he's like,
He
If only more,
Yeah.
if only more referees were like that.
but they did,
Well,
and it was a poor defensive display from Burnley. Like, no pressing, no urgency, no like defensive energy, because they just let like Bale and all that just have the ball, and
Constant pressure.
yeah, and that's how Bale got his he got 2 assists, didn't he? Did he get 2
No,
assists?
just one assist. One assist.
Just one, I think.
He scored 2 goals, 1 assist.
Oh, that's
Two
how he
goals,
that's
one
how he scored. That's how he scored his second. There were just no pressing on the ball, just chilling out,
First goal,
and just didn't
Did
stop
the
him.
defender
Yeah,
ripped it round in off the
Yeah,
post.
if you look at Bale's second goal, like when you talk about the defenders, the 6s, the 7s, like Bale's on the right wing and he's just
walking.
There's no one
Yeah.
around him. Just walking to the box, no one around him. The left back's got no clue where he is.
Yeah,
Absolutely no clue.
It's
And-
good touch, great finish.
but-
Left foot,
yeah,
the Bale we used to know.
for
from the
me,
Premier League.
to be fair, for me, that's all I can say about it. Burnley were poor. Spurs were just on
Yeah.
some serious next
Well,
level football.
I've got something interesting which will take us away from the Premier League, but obviously it's going to include 2 players from the Premier League. So Real Madrid, obviously they've loaned out Bale. They've got rid of James Rodriguez. In 20 games, Bale scored 8 goals, 3 assists. In 21 games, Rodriguez has scored 5 goals, 8 assists. And I've got 5 key players for Real Madrid who have not got the numbers like Bale and Rodriguez have got. So you got Asensio in 31 games, 2 goals, 2 assists. That's 31 games, 2 goals, 2 assists. Vinicius Junior, better stats, but obviously he's played 31 games. Vinicius Junior, with the pace he's got, he scored 4 goals and assisted 4 times. That's not Ronaldo quality. You know what I mean? From a young chap with that type of speed.
I
and
think
agility.
there is an issue with that one though, because Benzema just straight up don't like him. Like, as much as he's come out and apologised for what he said about him to Mendy, you just know it's just set in stone. Then, like, Benzema just don't
Probably.
like him, and that just causes a rift, and the team just won't perform as well. And that's the issue for. I feel sorry for Vinicius Junior because he is a serious talent, and I think it's time for Benzema to leave Real Madrid anyway. So
It's time to go.
it's time.
Well,
it's time
you
to
got-
go.
You got Rodrigo, 18 games, 1 goal, 6 assists. Hazard, 13 games, 3 goals, no assists. And then you got Marino, 15 games, 1 goal, no assists. Where's the
Quality, it's not there. It's not there.
none
They're
of
just
them?
not there.
5 players. They've literally released 2 of their best
Have
players.
you-
And
Have you also seen that as well? A story's come out about Eden Hazard, and at half time and before matches, you know what he does to warm up, like get himself in the zone? Gets his switch out and plays Mario Kart in the dressing room.
What a guy.
no wonder he's not performing.
That's how he warms up mentally for a game. He gets
He's
his
thinking he
switch
could have
out.
finished first if only he had a mushroom. Get across the finish line.
Genius.
That's
Genius.
literally what he was thinking.
Also, did you see the absolute shithousery that Burger King did to him?
Yeah.
Oh, that tweet. Oh my god, it was genius. If you haven't seen it and you are listening, go onto Twitter and just try and find it. It was the Spanish version of Burger King on Twitter, and they tweeted at Hazard about him like chilling and eating and all that, about him basically being overweight, and it was genius. You need to go and see that tweet if you can. And Diogo Jota's just come on for Liverpool, so he's back.
Yeah, welcome back.
Welcome
Interesting.
back.
Well,
Diogo Jota.
speaking of
Yeah.
Liverpool, unless Alex has a
Hang
good
on.
question.
I have one question, and it will go
Okay.
into what you were mentioning actually. Like, if you're Tottenham, do you buy Gareth Bale in the summer?
100%. You've got to.
Yeah, but the question is, he's on so much wages.
I
as
know.
well.
You've got to come
And
to a pass, haven't you? You've got to sit down with him.
Real Madrid aren't stupid. They're going to ask for money for him if they want to buy him.
How old is he now? 32?
No.
I think he's
31?
I don't think he's that old, but I know he's like 29 or 30.
Yeah,
I know in his 30s, 100% he's in his 30s.
I'll have a look.
Bear with me, well, the adjudicator checks.
But I think you've got to have that discussion with him. You've got to sit 31. Down with him.
Oh, 31.
Yeah.
31.
So, he's 31 now. You could probably get, because we had this conversation last week, that players are staying good whilst they're getting older. So he could literally play to his 35, maybe. You know what I mean? Like, at high performance level. But I reckon you probably can get 2-3 years out of a great Gareth Bale. And it's if you want to spend, it's probably going to be like 50 million. I bet probably like 50 million, something like that. But plus, then you got to pay his wages.
That's a new 20 million nowadays, though. Think about it.
Yeah.
50 million is literally the new 20 million. You're talking Haaland's probably going to go for 200 to 250 mil. Like, that is serious money. And Mbappe is probably going to be the first 300 million pound player. Like,
obviously, the more
serious money,
the higher his value is going to come up for every season.
Yeah, exactly my point. Like, Real Madrid aren't going to be idiots about it. They're going to ask for a substantial fee. If you're Daniel Levy, do you get the checkbook out? Do you bring him in for the summer? Because he has been, especially the last couple of weeks, almost back to his best. We won't say he is, but he's getting there.
He started scored for, I believe, in his four games. So,
like, I wouldn't say he's all the way there yet, but he's definitely almost there. He's getting there.
Yeah, 100%. For me, obviously, I'd probably loan him another season, and then see how he does in that season. And then maybe bring him in for another sign him a 2-year contract with an extension of an extra year.
Yeah. I think that'd be that. Now, you need to be a sporting director here, son, with that kind of thinking.
That's what I do personally.
For someone who has no access to Football Manager, you're definitely showing the brain.
Man's got the monthly instalments, little tab coming down and everything.
Nah, that's what you
me.
do.
That's me.
I'll pay you no money now, but I'll give you
future bankruptcy.
6 months.
Future bankruptcy when I've won the Champions League and the Premier League, and then there's no bankruptcy.
Yeah, but what happens if you don't? Yeah, fuck it, exactly.
Then I leave the club. I do a Tony Pulis. I leave the club before anything bad happens, and then join somebody else.
And then get sacked.
That's
Liverpool.
Sheffield United and Liverpool. So we all predicted Liverpool would win this game. Kev with a 3-0, Jim with a 3-0, Alex with a 4-0, me with a 2-1. The game finished 2-0 in the end.
I think Liverpool struggled. I really don't think Liverpool are hitting like serious like goal scoring form. They don't look good as a team. I just when you watch Liverpool and you just don't see. For me, I watch Liverpool and I just don't see. I don't see whereas like they used to be counter-attack and now they're adopting this possession-based play. And Man City obviously have that possession back. But when you watch Man City, at any point during the game, a killer pass is coming that one pass. Like, I'll take it for Firmino's goal for the second goal was very fortunate. Like, the play leading up to it was nice, but his goal was very fortunate. But
it was an own goal in the end. It was a Brian own goal.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It was just very fortunate. But the first goal where Trent just about kept the ball in and crossed it very close, and Jones, it was a lovely goal. Sweeping move down the right hand side.
He was a quality player. Yeah. He played well. He's been doing well. He's 20 years of age. He's played 20 games, I believe, this season.
Something like that, yeah.
He's been their calling card, you know what I mean? Like, obviously, he ain't going to be world class as of yet, but he's someone to watch for the future. In the next 3 years, 4 years, maybe. You could be getting an England call-up if he keeps consistent performances like this. But the way he was running, Jones, for me, it seems like he could, he seems like he could be like a Phil Foden type of person, not a centre midfielder. Phil Foden type of player.
Attacking midfielder, yeah.
Yeah. What is it? A false nine, is it?
Yeah. Or like shadow striker. You float just off the striker and just pop in the little pockets of space.
I think
'Cause,
that could be a role he adapts into, maybe.
He was very good, but also I will give credit to Aaron Ramsdale in that first half. My God, he was on it. He was like, "Nah, nothing's getting past me this game," and he was on it. He's had some criticism. He has been poor this season, but that game, to be fair, he put in a performance where they shouldn't have conceded.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
I will say, so obviously I've got two notes here, which is one about a player, one about Chris Wilder. So the one note I did say was that Kabak was very shaky when Oliver Burke come on. Oh my God. Because I watched it live, and when Burke come on, he was ball watching, Kabak was, and got caught out a few times when Burke was running in behind. Whew. It was scary how shaky Kabak was when somebody with a bit of pace was in front of him instead of McGoldrick, who is still their top goal scorer because he scored again. But we'll gloss over that.
Is it the big five?
Is it, lads? McGoldrick's hit the big five. But
hit the big five yesterday.
I will say, regarding Sheffield United, Chris Wilder in his interview was very honest and talked and said they are conformed to Championship football, and he did say that they're going down, they are down, and it's about playing for respect. And I respect that because that is brutally honest, and it shows that he's ready to build for next year if he's going to be there. Mm-hmm. And my question, I'm taking over, Al. My question for you guys is, if you're the Sheffield United board, do you keep Chris Wilder?
I'm saying yes.
I'm saying no, because he's done a good. Is this their second season or it's their second season?
Second season. Yeah. They almost got Europe last year, if you remember.
Oh yeah, they did. Obviously, last year was a freak season. I think it was a freak season. It was a wonder season, and pretty much probably a fluke season. But I do put it down to they had one of the best goalkeepers in the league, which Manchester United do not play at the moment, Dean Henderson. So
it's playing lightly though,
because David De Gea is injured, unfortunately. It's not
apparently he's on personal leave.
Yeah, he's on it for personal reasons. Probably like Neymar gone to shag his sister or something.
No, the pre-match conference. The pre-match conference, Oli did say he has a knee injury. That's what Oli said, and he wants him back before the weekend, hopefully.
That's weird because the statement. Yeah.
On Instagram today, it said he's gone for personal leave or for personal reasons,
and it's for a whole month.
That's probably...
Yeah, 6 weeks, something like that.
6 weeks.
Oh shit! That's come after the game then. After the game. Then?
Yeah. I saw that today.
Yeah, it was on today.
Oh damn.
Yeah.
Well, that's fine by me. Obviously, I hope whatever it is, it's not bad, but obviously, Dean Hendo.
Are we leading on to Man United?
No, next game is Jim. It's I know. It's we got the next game, Everton Southampton.
I didn't watch this one. I didn't get time to, so this is up to you guys.
Kev predicted a 4-4. Jim predicted a 3-2. You could argue that's a correct result. Alex 3-1. Me 2-1. And it was 1-0 in the end to Everton.
1-0.
Richarlison, assist by Sigurdsson. Good play.
That is exactly the same combination as today. As Jim shakes his head at me.
We'll get on to that.
Sigurdsson assist, Richarlison goal.
Sigurdsson now has a person to lay a pass to someone. He can actually give the ball. That's what Sigurdsson's always been good at. He's got that killer pass in him. He's always had that killer pass in him.
But that's the issue. Do you stop playing Rodriguez to play Sigurdsson, or do you replace Decore, Andre Gomez, or Allen to play Sigurdsson?
It's a big problem.
He has the biggest headache in midfield.
Carlo Ancelotti, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Obviously,
I'll say it's a good problem to have.
Oh yeah. I mean, if you're really picky about it, you could move Rodriguez out on the right and put Sigurdsson in the middle.
I wouldn't even consider putting Rodriguez out on the wing at the moment.
No, you can't.
No, not with how influential he's been in the middle.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Well, you could say put him out on the wing and just have them both sit behind the striker.
Yeah, maybe.
Like you could have Richarlison, Calvert-Lewin, Rodriguez, and then just have him just the formation just twist a bit, and then Richarlison, Calvert-Lewin up front. You know that what is it? 4-2-2-2-2-2-2-2-2-2-2 formation with the two cams, Lamb and Ram.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, with the two cams. Just play
Yes. That 22-man formation that we played.
Yeah. But I didn't watch the game, but apparently it was somewhat entertaining, but not too entertaining.
Michael Keane had a goal. No, it wasn't. Michael Keane headed it across. Who was it? Michael Keane had disallowed or someone else? I know there's a goal disallowed because offside. I think no, Michael Keane make an early run and he was offside when he headed the ball, but I forgot who knocked it in. But
Yeah.
it was definitely offside. There's no arguments about that.
Yeah.
Everton were brewing for a second goal. They just didn't get the second goal in the end.
Mm-hmm.
But it was a good game. It was an interesting game, but it was just a 1-0. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there's not much to talk
It
about.
was just- they did the job. That's what they needed to do. 3 points.
Yeah. I'll have a question for each team in this one because we're in a situation where they both are interested. Obviously, last week I think Jim, did you put Everton in your top 4? I think you did, didn't you?
Yeah, I
so
said
they're
they'd
just missing
sneak
out.
in. No, I said they'd sneak in, I think.
So you think that? And then obviously we talk about Everton being top 4. Obviously, in our predictions, me and Dal said they wouldn't, but they're in a situation now where they've won 2 more games in a bounce against difficult opposition, so they're grinding the results in. Are they going to do it? Are they going to get the
I hope they
Champions
do.
League?
I hope they do, because...
Also, if they do, is it too soon? Will they struggle next season because of it?
Depends
I
on the
think they'll
investment.
struggle either way, because if they're in any form of Europe, they're going to have more games.
Yeah.
Yeah, agreed.
But
So
I think it depends on the investment. Like, you can't... For me, as the owners, you can't see what Ancelotti's doing and how he's performing and how he's making the team play and not give him more money. You can't sit back on it. You can't sit back and go, oh, he's got a nice team. You got to be like, yo, whatever you need, go get it, because you're taking us somewhere and we like it. Like, you've got it.
What Everton need is a world-class goalkeeper.
Yeah.
You're trying to say T-Rex in goal isn't a world class goalkeeper. He's England's number 1. I'll have you know.
Although the save he made today in the first 2 minutes against West Brom, oh my God, it's a certain goal. It's a certain goal. Anyone else, it's a certain goal. God knows how he got to it.
Well, that's the thing with Pickford. He's a fantastic shot saver, but he struggles with other things.
Yeah. Well, it was Pickford's pass that gave the ball to Calvert-Lewin. Calvert-Lewin won the ball in the air, passed it to Sigurdsson. Sigurdsson assisted Richarlison, and it all came from Pickford.
Yeah.
So
that's
it's
one
good.
thing I'll say.
It's good on the ball.
It's the reason I see Pickford not being England's number 1 this summer is because the way Southgate wanted to play, Pickford's fantastic with his feet, and he is out of his hand as a drop kick and a side volley as a keeper. There is nobody better in the league. His kicking is phenomenal.
Yeah.
Obviously, Edison's the best outright footballer out of all the goalkeepers, but Pickford is, I'd say, definitely a close second. He's fantastic with his feet.
Anyway,
fantastic.
So the second question, part of this question I've got before we move on, is Southampton are looking like they're just in free fall at the moment. Are they in danger of going down because they're struggling to get a win?
No. Not for me. We're not good enough to get out. Fulham are looking like they could get out of it, but they'd only swap places with like Brighton or Newcastle. I don't think Southampton will go down.
The thing is, it's 7 points between Fulham and Southampton, so you could consider them. You'd say Crystal Palace and Wolves, 100%. They're not going to be in the relegation battle. Southampton could get dragged in towards the last few games of the season, depending on how Fulham perform.
It's the teams around them that depends on how they perform, and then after that you can like.
It's one of them. Only time can tell. I can't give it. Only time can tell.
Yeah.
Okie dokie.
Moving on now.
Next game. Chelsea Man United.
We'll let you take the lead on this one, down. Me and Jim will just sit back and hear you rant about referees again. Off we go.
Well, Jim, you predicted 2-1. Al, you predicted 2-1 to Chelsea. Me and Kev both predicted a draw because we know how Manchester United play. It was 1-1 we both predicted, but it was 0-0 in the end. Either one got a goal. I don't know where to start. so many problems with Manchester United.
Do you want me to say about the pen? Do you want me to say this is the thing I wanted to talk about? So
100% it's pen.
Right.
We don't need to talk about it. No one needs to have to say any ifs, buts. We've seen pens being given like that
Right.
this season. It's a penalty. My man is going like a T-Rex and lifting his arms up in the air.
Yes.
Hudson-Odoi, it's 100% penalty.
Okay,
Every
okay.
single player puts his arm
I think me and Alex, I think.
Every single Chelsea player, but it wasn't for Greenwood. No, it's for Odoi. Odoi is handballed.
Right, okay, so I think me and Alex will probably see the same issue with the pen. So, yes, it's a pen because it is handball. I'm not disputing that.
This season, it's a penalty.
No, yeah, it is a penalty. But,
don't ever see.
But the thing I can think that the referee's seen is that Greenwood has gone to handball it as well. That's why he hasn't given it. Because if Hudson,
That's what I was going to say.
Because if Hudson-Odoi's hand isn't there, Greenwood's handballed it. If you watch the video, Greenwood's jumped up like that to try and control it here, but that's where Hudson-Odoi's hand is. So Hudson-Odoi's hand has hit it, but Greenwood's arm is up to try and control it. That's the only reason I can. That's the only reason I think that he hasn't given it is because Greenwood's jumped up to try and control it like that, and Hudson-Odoi's grabbed his arm and it's hit his hand. That's the only reason I can think he hasn't given it.
His arm wasn't even. His hand didn't even touch his arm.
Yeah,
Well, I
but
was
like
gonna say,
that was on top of it.
And when the ball dropped, Greenwood moved his arm out the way to stop the ball from hitting his arm, so he didn't give away a free kick.
But it was gonna hit his arm. That's the thing. It was gonna hit his arm regardless.
I disagree. I don't think it was hitting Greenwood's arm. What I was going to say was, if we're talking about what we were talking about last week in consistency, it's 100% a penalty.
Oh, yeah.
But it's just clear to me that like the best way to get rid of penalties now is to just complain about it on your website before the game, and there you go. Job's good.
Oh my god!
No decisions going against you if you complain about it.
All I said is 100%. Why are people aiming at man? Yeah, okay, we've got the most penalties in the last 2-3 years. That's because we got some of the quickest players in the league, and okay, some penalties. Meh.
Not some Dow. Not
No,
some.
Bruno Fernandes. That was a penalty. That Bruno Fernandes.
I know the one you're talking about. The one where he trod on Diop's foot in the Premier League and went down like a sack of shit, and then got the penalty. It ain't a pen, but we'll agree to disagree on that one. But you have had your fair share of dubious penalties. Just like Liverpool, when they won the league, they had their fair share of dubious decisions. It's just the way it goes. And there is going to be a team every year where the decisions goes for them, and then
obviously
the decisions.
The Martial one when who got Ben Naraka, was it Ben Naraka got
Yeah.
sent off?
Yeah.
Which wasn't a red card. I believe that was not a penalty as well. Martial was looking for that 100%.
Yeah.
But obviously, the reason being is we've got a lot of players with quick feet. We've got so many players with quick feet. Pogba's got quick feet. Bruno's got quick feet. James got quick feet. Greenwood's got quick feet. Rashford's got quick feet. Martial's got quick. Cavani's even got quick feet. We've got so many players with quick feet, and that is going to get clipped in the box, and it's natural. And obviously, when you get clipped as a player, you're going to go down. Even if it's the penalty or not,
I just think refs nowadays need to ref with competency and consistency.
For me, that's a penalty, and that's a 1-0 win victory in my eyes. And obviously, but another problem we have for Manchester United is we've not won a top 6 side this season.
Yeah, you haven't. You haven't beaten.
You got 2 losses and 5 0-0.
You got smashed that first game you had. What was it? 6-0.
6-1 to Tottenham.
6-1 against Tottenham. That was the first Big Six team you played, and that's when Tottenham was red hot at the start of the season. You got slapped like that, and I reckon Ollie, when he got slapped, he went, "That ain't happening again against the top 6. It's not happening." And just
that was
went.
The problem.
Yeah.
When it was 0-0 draw after that.
You're scared to lose. That's
it was
the issue.
1-0 loss to Arsenal, then 0-0, 0-0, 0-0,
Yeah.
0-0.
You're terrified to lose. That's your issue.
Yeah. He'd rather have a point than get
nothing. Which you commend if you're West Brom. But
if you're Manchester United and you're trying to fight for trophies and you're trying to close the gap between the Liverpools and Man Cities between each other, obviously Liverpool this season have had but Liverpool could easily still overtake United and go above them if in the last 10 games Manchester United have won 3, drawn 6, lost 1.
Yeah,
the lost one was fine. The last one's fine. I'm happy with the last one. It's the drawn 6 I'm not happy
Yeah.
with.
But-
That should be 3 or 2, and it should be the wins. You know what I mean? A majority of wins, not more draws than wins. I don't. Is last season we had so many draws. I think we had one of the fewest amount of defeats last season, but because we had like 12 or 14 draws, it just put us down so far.
A good question to ask is if you're not happy with the 3 wins, 6 draws, and 1 loss, that's 15 points. Would you be more happy if it read 5 wins and 5 losses, which is also 15 points?
That's a good question. No, and I think it is 15, right?
Yep.
15. 5 wins, 5 losses. No, Al, I'm not satisfied with either. To be honest,
You need more points.
I think
You need-
if
You
out
need
of
to
10
be a
games,
bit more clinical,
this is
crucial,
how,
brutal.
this is how I think. If you Manchester United, out of 10 games, there's 38 games in a season. Out of 10 games, you got to get the minimum 20 points, minimum. So if you do it like every step, every 10 games, and so that last 8 games, you're going to get 18 points. So that's 78 points, which could win you the Premier League if it's very tight, or you could finish second or third, depending, or maybe in fourth, depending on everyone else. Manchester United have won the league with 78, 79 points in the past. Other teams have as well.
Yeah, forgive won it with less, maybe just.
Yeah, I think we won it with 74 as well. And I think Arsenal have as well. They've won it with 75, 76.
I think that the season you won it, where you were like 70 odd points, and it was like the least amount of points ever needed.
There you go. So you can win the league, but you can also finish second, third, and fourth. I don't think you'd finish fifth with 78 points.
I'd say it's possible though.
Nowadays it is.
It can be
Yeah.
possible, but I wouldn't. Obviously, records are being broken all the time, but yeah, that's all I got to say about Manchester United. We're too scared. Bruno Fernandes does not perform against top 6 sides. I do not know why.
A question I'll ask about that. I'll ignore Chelsea at the moment because they're playing all right against Liverpool, currently still winning. The question for Man United is, obviously you're talking to us the other day, I think Kev was as well, saying there's a rumour of one big marquee signing in the summer. And obviously the names of Sancho and Grealish get thrown around quite more often. I don't see Haaland leaving yet, but would you take Grealish or Sancho, or would you use that money to buy a striker because you need one? And if so, who?
I literally can't even name a striker. I think any player that comes to Manchester United at the minute is not going to work. It's not going to click. And I think that's down to the manager.
No, you know what? For
and
me,
also above.
you know what? For me, it's since you got rid of Lukaku, just that stigma of a striker again. Lukaku, you go back and look at Lukaku, bro, and Lukaku did. Lukaku, yeah, Lukaku was so good, and you know how much he'd thrive in your team right now, like with the Bruno.
100%.
How much he'd look at him in the Italian league. He's mincemeat in that league, and I'm like, but United forced him out because he wasn't good enough. When in actual fact, it was, as proven, the players around him to supply him that weren't good enough. You only had Pogba to supply him. You then brought Ibrahimovic, who could somewhat help him, but that didn't go to plan. Rashford was still a kid.
Problem.
Yeah, Rashford was still a kid. Martial just went off the boil completely. Like, it's one of them. Like, when Lukaku was there and when you needed it the most, you needed somebody to create for him. You didn't have it. You then sold him and went and bought a player that could create, but now you don't have that striker to finish off the creativity. And it's like, why did you sell him in the first place?
I think what we need to do is, obviously, we bought Lukaku. He was a young striker anyway. He was like, what, 23, 24 anyway when we
I
bought
think
him.
it was about 24, 25 when you got him, I think.
Yeah, when you bought him from Everton.
Yeah, so he's 24, 25. So that still classes as young these days. You know what I mean? So we bought him. We then bring in experience with Ibrahimovic. But if you look at like classic United strikers, well, for me growing up, Rooney was hella young and he was our best striker. We bought Ronaldo, but he was a winger. But obviously he got inside. We bought him when he was very young. So I think if we're going to buy a striker, we need to buy someone very young, like early 20s, like maybe 23, 24. The only person I think of is João Felix, but
The only thing is,
to make it in the Premier League.
Not even that, yeah. Felix is going to cost you hundreds of millions at the moment because that's how much Atletico bought him for.
But
175 million exactly.
But you got to look though, kid. Like, look at Rooney. He is one of a kind, but he weren't just quick and skillful like he first was at Everton. He come to you and adapted his game and become an absolute brute. He could win everything in the air. He could fight people off the ball. He was consistently good and strong, and he brought everyone else into play. And then your midfield was strong. Like, you couldn't beat your midfield. It was Paul Scholes and Roy Keane sat there battling for everything. And,
I know.
And now you've got Fred, Pogba and Bruno, and I know it's adapted, but Bruno, to be fair to him, does fight for everything. Pogba is lazy from time to time, but when you put somebody next to him that will fight as much as Bruno, he then will fight more. Pogba's never a captain player. He doesn't lead by example. His passing leads by example, but he won't. Whereas if you have players around him that lead by example with effort, he then jumps on the bandwagon. Yeah. And that's your issue. You don't have anybody up front that will grit, bite their teeth, fight your Rooneys, your Van Nistelrooys. Bro, who is the king of Man United? Cantona. Look at how much he used to fight on the pitch. Like, he was a dog.
And off.
That Cantona signing literally started the pivotal of success.
Yeah.
That Cantona was literally the start of success at United.
And that's what you're struggling with. You've got.
That's what people are comparing Bruno Fernandes. Hopefully, he's at the start of success.
But you've got to go and sign that kind of player. So you've got to sign, basically, like, you're going to have to go elsewhere. But, like, obviously, your Lukaku or Icardi or Immobile or just somebody that ain't quick.
So they're all getting old now. But
yeah.
Like, obviously, Diagne, I'd actually love him at United. I think he'd do a quality job. And
he just needs to start scoring. That's his only issue.
He's the type of striker I'd love at United with the balls that Bruno puts in, Pogba puts in. They'd love him to be on the end of it. And I'd love a player like that. Even Giroud. I'd love a player like Giroud at United.
Excuse me, Dan.
Yeah, I never thought I'd say it myself. The player I hate so much. I just look at him. I just want to hit him. Did he seem to hit him? But obviously, I'd love someone like that at the club. Cavani, when he came, I thought the El Matador, like the experience he got, I didn't think he'd score endless amounts of goals, but he has contributed in a small factor of goals. Yeah. And obviously, his experience will help the younger players come through, like Shola.
Let's put it this way, bro. Like, you have your foundation now. You've got your midfield. Your midfield is set. It's Fred, Pogba, Fernandes. When they're all running, fit and running, it's Fred, Pogba, Fernandes. Fred looks good now. He looks
rotate, mate.
Yeah, but Fred looks too good at the minute. He's comfortable now. He's good on the ball and everything. The issue you've got now is your wingers.
Bro, we've got too many. But we've got a problem. We have too many.
You have too many, and then you don't have good enough wingers. Bro, at the minute, you're relying on Dan James again to get you out of holes. A pace merchant.
He's not getting us out of holes. That's the thing.
That's what I mean. You're relying on a player that can't do anything but run. He literally is a pace merchant, and that's your issue.
His pressing of the game is brilliant, and he puts players under pressure, and we can get a cheeky throw in or whatever. But he doesn't have the technical ability of Greenwood. But Greenwood's greedy. If Greenwood lays the ball off instead of taking the shot every single time.
For me, that's why you have to go and buy Sancho. You need a world-class winger. You have to.
Rashford's perfect on the left.
Yeah.
I don't want Martial in the middle. I don't want Martial in the club, to be honest, no more. I think his time at Manchester United is up. Last season is his best season ever in a Manchester United shirt, and he will never do better than that again. If he proves me wrong, please prove me wrong, because I'd love being proved wrong.
He needs to go back to France.
I agree. Join Mbappe in PSG, please. Go, please. I beg. And then you can find squad. You know what I mean? And but the thing is, and we need a striker. We need a striker, right mid. Greenwood needs competition. The only competition he's got is Dan James, but Dan James ain't really competition. Dan James is just a quick play, but he's got years left, and maybe he is a game will adapt and get better probably. I could speak about this for ages. We've got to move on though.
To the last game.
Last two games. We got
Wolves Newcastle.
Leicester Arsenal. So Kev predicted 2-1 to Leicester. Jim predicted 3-1 Leicester. Alex predicted 2-0 Leicester. And I predicted 2-0 Leicester. Well.
I got it the wrong way round.
Arsenal. They pulled that out of the bag, didn't they?
I will. I'll say. I feel like what we were talking about last week. We were saying like Maddison is like integral to Leicester. I think that proved it.
Yeah, 100%. And Barnes. Barnes is integral to Leicester as well.
He started the game, but he got injured, didn't he?
Yeah.
They scored.
Like Leicester.
Yeah, sorry.
Like Leicester's injury table at the moment is getting close to what Liverpool's is, but not as big as Liverpool's, obviously. And like it's only Leicester's injuries have only been very recently, but that easily could derail their European push, which is what I said last week.
Yep.
And
it's 18 minutes.
And as much as we talk about how like not as up to scratch Leicester were, Arsenal were awesome.
Yeah, they were on fire. Because speaking of the injuries, I've written down the most important ones. So I said Barnes is now injured. Maddison, Pratt, and Perez are all still injured, with Fofana also out. Leicester for me.
Johnny Evans as well.
Johnny Evans. Leicester are in an injury crisis, and that's the bottom line.
He's just come back from injury and he's not 100% as well.
Yeah.
Exactly. And he's actually pushed into the team because I don't think he's match fit.
And I'm sorry, Iheanacho is wank.
So I saw a quote somewhere online, and they reckon an issue is Iheanacho is like being like they're using him a lot as a main striker. But I saw somewhere that like one of his like Nigerian under-20s coaches said like he's actually better as a number 10, but he needs to perform to get in the team, and he's not performing. And even when he does perform, he's not taking Maddison out.
Nah.
And
I just don't see it. And
yeah, like I don't see how he's going to have much more of a future at Leicester if he's not performing the way he should.
I don't think he's a Premier League quality striker anyway. I think he'll be good in France. I think he'll be good in France. He'll be good in Italy. He'll be good anywhere else but England. Let's be honest. He played for Man City. You stick me up in that Man City team. If I'm up top in that team, bro, I'm still scoring 10 goals, and I'll miss 50 of them.
A good point to like say is like they had Iheanacho on their books, and they still went out and bought Jesus and replaced him.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And they could see what he was like. That's the thing.
Yeah, exactly. They must have seen that he wasn't going to be up to the scratch they wanted.
And that's the thing. But even though we have started with Leicester's demise, we will have to talk about the smoke that Arsenal were on that game.
Yeah.
Because their third goal, exactly what I was going to say. Their third goal come from their team pressing, and it is so good that game. It was unreal. Like the pressing was stupidly good. Like, obviously they've been practicing it and they've experimented with it, and that game, everything just clicked, and they hit the ground running and just pressed Leicester out the game.
I've got a question for you guys. So I'm flipping the Uno reverse over here. So basically, I don't know. You guys have probably heard.
Yeah.
Barcelona are interested in Mikel Arteta. Do you see him as a Barcelona boss?
He'd changed the philosophy.
I have seen this.
Yeah,
I have seen this. If I were Mikel Arteta, and I think you both agree with me, I am not touching Barcelona with a 10-foot pole.
Nah.
I am going nowhere near them at the moment.
Not touching.
Maybe in a few years when he's, made his philosophy stamp at Arsenal, when Barcelona aren't in tatters. But
absolute tatters.
I would go nowhere near him.
With Messi on the way out as well, you're not touching the team. Not touching the team.
If I were Mikel Arteta, I generally say if I were Mikel Arteta, say like at the moment Barcelona is still up here and Arsenal are here. Like I know
give it a year and a half.
People listening aren't going to see shit.
Yeah,
but give it 2 years, it's going to be completely flipped. Yeah. Why would you do it to yourself when Mikel Arteta is still a young upcoming manager? Bearing in mind it's his first job.
I see Barcelona being the Juve of the Spanish league. When Juve did all that scandal with the money and they got demoted to Serie B and had to start over again, I see Barcelona potentially having the same outcome because
there's nearly £2 billion.
They are in complete tatters. Like Juve had to start all over, but they kept all the players on the books, so that's why they went.
That's what I was gonna say.
They went straight back up from Serie B. But being demoted to Serie B, like, it's a big thing, and being demoted to the second or La Liga Segunda or something like that, like being demoted to that would hurt Barcelona big time, and that's why they did it, because it hurt Juve big time, and that's how much it had hurt Barca to be demoted and lose Messi in potentially the same year. Mate, they'd be in absolute shambles.
Well, the
Also,
thing
like, carry on. You go first, Al. You go first.
okay, I'm just gonna say different to what you guys said. If I was Mikel Arteta, I'd jump to Barcelona.
Okay.
Yes, I understand Messi's leaving. Yes, I understand the club's in £2 billion worth of debt. And obviously, he's won trophies already at Arsenal. But obviously, it was pretty much the way Arsenal was performing anyway in the cup games. I think any manager you could have put any manager and they would have won them cup games 100%. Like, that's just my opinion. I think any manager in charge of Arsenal, just for some reason, Aubameyang clicked. The rest of the players clicked. They could have won the FA Cup and the Community Shield easy, no problem. But obviously, since then, we've seen Arteta. He's had a bit of a yo-yo season. Like, we're talking about relegation battle back then, and now obviously the slow climbing back up. But if I was Arteta, the chance to perform in the Champions League, your name on the big stage, yes, there's a lot of pressure, but you could probably win more actual trophies. You know what I mean? And you've actually got more of a chance of winning La Liga than you are Premier League with Arsenal. And having La Liga on your reservoir is much better than just
resume. Can you imagine sitting there with, like, there's a La Liga trophy just sitting there in a bit of water next to you on the reservoir?
Flowing around you like a moat. Just circling.
Just sitting there going, yep. That's my trophy. I know. I didn't want to correct you because I thought I'd break you, but...
A resume, right? Okay, so La Liga on your resume and just having mid-table Arsenal on your resume. I'd rather have La Liga in my resume than mid-table Arsenal all day, every day. You know what I mean? Yeah,
I see where you're coming from. I just wouldn't switch. But to bring it back to the Arsenal game, because we went super off topic then, I think there was a decision in the game where a pen was given. I can't remember the referee's name, but the ref called for a pen, pointed to the spot. Everybody thought it was a pen, and then VAR looked at it, and it was a very good decision to call it a free kick because, one, he didn't get touched by the player who was in the box. He got touched by the player who was outside the box, and I think it was Ndidi who tripped him, and he tried to say that Tielemans tripped him, and it was such a good decision because even though, like, obviously Leicester still lost, it could have been a serious turning point in the game, and it could have been like a 5-6 then. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But 5-6 but that decision, I think, is how VAR is good and is used properly.
Well, that's something I was going to say. Like, it shows that VAR obviously has the promise when it makes fantastic decisions like that, and it did it really quickly, and it worked very well.
So
it's there. Like, everything we need for it to work is there. It's just not being done.
The implementation is so wrong.
Yeah.
Right. A quick question then. Anyone or?
No, I think the
we covered it.
So we move on to the last one.
We move.
Newcastle Wolves.
And this is going to be a quick one for me because I haven't watched this. It doesn't even sound very entertaining.
It wasn't. So
I'll leave you to talk about this.
I was very much scraping the barrel for notes on this one, but there is 3 points I'd like to say. But now, continue.
Kev predicted 2-0 Wolves. Jim predicted 1-0 Wolves. Alex predicted 1-0 Wolves. I predicted 3-1 Newcastle. Ended in a draw, 1-1. It was an entertaining game.
It was entertaining.
I watched it. Newcastle were very dangerous all the way through. They had this low goal from Saint-Maximin.
Almiron hitting the post in the first half. He done really well. Saice's awesome goal line clearance. Oh my god, to tip that over the bar from where it was, that was a really good save. I mean,
the turning point for me for Newcastle. Sorry, Jim.
No, carry on.
They put on Ryan Fraser, and that literally flipped the game.
Yeah, really did. Fraser come on, put in a beautiful cross for Lascelles, scores it. really good, even though he come on at half time. I mean, who went off? Was it Almiron or Maximum who went off injured first? Can't remember. He come on for one of them.
And Maxman came off injured as well.
Yeah, and I rate Fraser. I think he's a good player, and he still offered that attack even though they lost at Maximum to injury as well. I think Maximum is way too good for Newcastle. He'll be gone soon. He is way too. Somebody will pick him up. Somebody top 6, top 8, foreign league, big team. Like they'll pick him up somewhere.
But the thing is, though, we said this about Traore last season, and Traore this season, 26 games, 0 goals,
nothing.
0 assists.
I mean, he definitely should have got an assist.
He has used 50 bottles of baby oil.
Yeah, I mean,
I do not agree. You say, Jim, and we'll come back to the baby oil.
I 100% think one, he should have got his header on target. That's one thing because I saw it, and he should have got an assist as well. He played it across the box and everyone just missed it, and I'm like, hold on, like he's getting there. He's in the right places and he's around there, but I just think when it ain't falling for you, it just ain't falling for you, man. And Baby Oil boy over here just can't get it to drop for him. And what were you going to say about Baby Oil?
I think baby oil.
I love this.
It should be banned. Baby oil should not. Why would you need? Why would you need? It's like an extra. For me, I think it's like a form of cheating, because basically the whole idea of a game is to grab onto a player. You don't see Messi baby oil himself.
Okay, Dale.
He skipped past. You don't see Ronaldo.
Dale.
Baby oil only for photo shoots. He baby oils himself.
Dale. If you watch that Barcelona PSG game where PSG slapped Barcelona, PK is being dragged along by Mbappe by his shirt. PK is grabbing onto Mbappe's shirt and Mbappe is still sprinting away, dragging PK along with him.
Yeah.
The issue is he's putting baby oil on so people can't grab him, because that's a form of cheating. You're denying him a way to get past somebody.
Yeah, but if you're good enough, you don't need it. You've just
you don't need it.
Dragging him along.
You've literally just
the point you've made is agreeing with Dal's point.
Yeah, I understand that saying like, the part of the game is to grab somebody, but it's still cheating. You grabbing somebody by the shirt and then dragging them back is stopping them moving forward.
If you can go as far, I've never seen a player in the history of the Premier League rinse himself in baby oil just to run past the player. The kid's got a million pace anyway. He does not need baby oil. Why is he using baby oil? And I think for me, I think it's cheating, because obviously the whole idea, it's a contact sport if you think about it.
Yeah.
It's going to be rustles, tussles. If you're having a corner, right, and you can't grab onto a man because you slip, you're not going to get up for your head.
Why are you grabbing onto his arm? That's the only part you baby oils. You shouldn't need to grab onto his arm.
Thing in a corner. I'm going to say that's a natural part of a corner.
I don't think it is. I don't
get a single corner in the Premier League where people aren't grabbing onto each other's arms.
Yeah, you grab onto arms, you grab onto shirts and stuff, but it's still when he's running at a defender. If you're a good enough defender, you don't need to grab him because you can defend against him.
But if he's a good enough player, he doesn't need baby oil.
But it's a 50-50, because if you're not a good enough defender, you're going to grab him. So he's good enough to get past him, but if they grab him, he's stopped. Whereas if he wears baby oil, he ain't going to get grabbed.
You see good defenders anyway actually put a foot in or grab a player, slow him down, because it's actually tactical, because their team's going to win. I'm not
saying it's right or I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm just saying it's the way he's adapted his game to prevent him from being stopped. Like it's not a way. I wouldn't say it's a way of cheating, because if you get blocked off by a man, if you knock it one way and he blocks your path and it's not a free kick, it should be, because it's obstruction. It happens all the time on FIFA and it happens all the time in real life. If you get blocked when you knock the ball around somebody and it's not blown as a free kick for obstruction, you're at a disadvantage then, because you've got more pace and they've stopped you from getting the ball. You've done that player, but he's stopped you in whatever way he's tried from getting the ball after doing him.
But look at your Agueros, De Bruyne's, Ronaldo's, Messi's, Mbappe's, Neymar's.
Yeah,
they don't need it, because it's literally. I think it's hindering yourself as well. Having that much baby oil on your arm, the skin cannot breathe. The skin is drenched in baby oil.
I was waiting for some weird, like, I was waiting for some, like, because of the weight of the baby oil, it slows you down. I was like, no. No, but it's not.
The thing is, it's a distraction for me. It would irritate me. There's baby oil all over his hands. If you wipe your face, your vision will then get blurred with oil in your face. And your hair.
It's not Adama Traore actually putting the baby on. It's the coaches.
Yeah, the coaches put it on him.
And I think it's a stupid idea.
Is adapting his game to what he thinks will make him improve without, let's say, quote unquote, cheating, which it isn't. But if it works, it works, doesn't it? And then they've got to actually review it. But at the minute, the baby oil ain't working.
One day, obviously, the thing is, he's not getting any goals or assists, so it's not being talked about enough.
That's what I mean.
I was about to say. If he was since he's using it, he's actually performed awfully.
Well, he was using it last season as well, and obviously he had Raul Jimenez with him last season. That's the difference with Wolves. Raul Jimenez, I do not have Raul Jimenez, and he's the anchor.
When we talk about Wolves like playing midweek against City, it looked like they were playing Adama Traore as the centre forward, and that just didn't work.
Yeah, they got slapped by Man City. Absolutely dominated. They've
done that many a times. But speaking of midweek games, shall we swiftly move on? Right. So moving on, we got Man City Wolves midweek game, won 4-1, 3 late goals in the 80+ minutes. So Jesus scored 2 and Mahrez scored 1. Clear onside by Jesus, and also you guys probably know that literally in the last 21 games they've won them all, scored 55 and conceded 8.
Madness.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
Premier League's theirs at this stage, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's over.
They've won 15 Premier League games in a row. And the funny thing is, the last time Man City drawed, it was a 1-1 against West Brom on the. I believe.
Yeah, Semi Ajay scoring.
That was Bilic's last game.
Yeah, it was.
Fucking bang.
Yeah, and then he got sacked, even though he had a banging result, which was weird.
Yep.
And the last time Liverpool.
We won't talk about that. We won't talk about that. We'll talk about why they sacked him.
Last time Man City lost was 2-0 Spurs, 21st of November. So it's been a long time since Man City have drawn / lost.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. Have they got the Premier League? Yes or no?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, they've won it. It's over.
The only question I'll ever ask about this one is the record stands at the moment Bayern Munich with 24 wins in a row. Can Man City beat that? Do you reckon
It'll
get
be
25?
Close. 20.
In all competitions, it was a league.
That means they need 9 more wins. 9 more.
No, it's all competitions. They only need 4 more.
Yeah, they need 4 more.
Okay. Yeah. I think 4 more is possible.
They're going to beat Man United.
I think it's going to finish. I think it's going to finish 0-0. Move on.
Okay. Burnley Leicester 1-1.
Boring.
Vidra early goal.
Not much to say.
Iheanacho got a goal. It was a great volley from Iheanacho.
Lovely. Even though I've just called him wank, but we'll gloss over that.
He was number 10 in that game as well.
What?
Played as a number 10 in that game, apparently.
Well, we got Sheffield United winning Villa 1-0.
Thanks, man.
McGoldrick hitting the big 5. That's all we need to say.
Big 5! Big 5!
It's actually 6 Premier League goals, and it's his 7th of the season.
Oh, angry. I thought he hit the big 5.
I'm sorry, he hit the big 5 last time he scored.
Oh, did he?
Oh, what's the point then? We missed the party.
When you said it earlier, I thought I'll mention it when we get to the game.
Oh, yeah, thanks. Let me live on that for half an hour and then make me look like an idiot. Thanks.
Quick question. Was it a red card, Phil Jagielka? Have you seen it?
I haven't seen it, no.
For me, it was not a red card. There was one player. It was 38 yards.
Oh, yeah, I've seen it, yeah. Nah, it's not a red card.
Yellow card all day.
He's miles away.
And also, 2 players are tracking back anyway. It's not.
They would have covered it by then. They would have covered it.
And also, fun fact, Phil Jagielka is the 2nd oldest player to ever be red carded.
Oh.
Who's the oldest?
Stuart Pearce.
Ah. I knew you'd know
Okay.
that.
Interesting.
You're our own little stat man. I love it.
And also, that's the first time Sheffield United has had a man sent off and won.
Really?
Yeah.
This
so-
season is that all?
No, in the Premier League.
They did.
altogether.
They did dig in for that win as well. Like, they proper defended for their life again.
Yep, literally. Okay, moving on to Ball United. So Crystal Palace nil, Manchester United nil.
I watched a little bit of this game and I was bored.
I watched this one
was-
as well, and I was like, "Bro, how have I watched United twice in a week and been bored both times?" Like, I was like,
I don't talk about it. I'm ready to swiftly
"Well,
move on.
yeah, let's
Yeah,
it's
let's
same
move
as a
on.
Chelsea
Less
game.
said
Let's
about
move
that.
on."
Less said about that, the better.
I haven't watched this game. West Brom nil, Everton 1. Richarlison with the only goal.
You know what? West Brom played. We played ace. We played really well, and I can't be discouraged by the way we played. The only thing I wish is that Diagne just learnt where the net was. That's all. He looks really good.
Not even
He's
that.
in the right positions. He just needs to score. That's it. We look really
He's-
good today.
He scored a really good finish in the last minute. He's
Yeah.
offside again.
Yeah,
It seems to be a regular thing for Diagne.
he just needs to learn to stand on side, and when he gets his chances, just
Yeah.
put him away a bit better. Like, he's a really good striker, but we played
Yeah.
well today, and I can't be discouraged by it. And it just shows that with the right players, we look amazing. Pereira, obviously, he misplaced some passes, but looks so much better. Your Coxley is a demon in midfield. Gallagher's looking a lot better now. Bartley is an absolute god at the back. He's stupidly good, except for when Richarlison scored. He should have got his head to it. But Johnston definitely should have commanded his area as well. But in saying all that, we played really well, and I can't be discouraged. Imagine people would have got mad at us losing 1-0 to Everton, an Everton team from this season. That is stupid. That's just like we played ace. So less said about that, the better.
Fulham Spurs 1-0. It was Adam Baray. Is it
Adam-
Adara Bio.
Adara Bioyo.
Yo. Yeah.
Adara Bio.
Adara Bio. There we
There
go.
you go.
2-minute own goal. I don't know anything
Yeah.
about that as well. 'cause obviously that
Nah.
was
All I heard was that they reckon, well, Dele Alli was claiming it for ages, and then it was made to not be an own
Yeah.
goal. That's all I know. I haven't watched that game at all today.
Well, we just had a game recently which finished not long ago with Liverpool
Yeah.
and Chelsea 1.
Well, luckily, me and Jim have been watching that as
Yes.
we've been talking.
Mason Mount scored a cracking goal from outside the box. What a finish that is. Timo Werner definitely should have scored, and definitely should have had his goal not disallowed as well. So really, Liverpool should have lost 3-1 because Mane had an opportunity to score as well.
I'll say second half Liverpool were a lot better. First half they were sloppy. I think like Liverpool had the most possession against
Yeah, they
Chelsea,
did.
which is unreal considering how much possession Chelsea have had recently.
Yeah.
But Liverpool, the second half was a lot better. It's just, yeah, Liverpool aren't going to be 100% until they get all their players back. It's just all it is.
And Chelsea looked unreal today. They did.
Yeah, Chelsea look good.
Well,
Those
with
look
that win for Chelsea, they've now gone fourth place,
Fourth,
above Everton and obviously
which
West
is
Ham.
based on my prediction. That's where they're going to finish. So I'm
Ooh.
happy with that.
Oh,
Yeah, so I forgot where I predict. I've literally forgotten my prediction. I just know
You
Man
put them
United-
third. You put Chelsea third, Liverpool fourth. I put
Yeah.
the other way around.
Okay, all right then. I'm glad you know because I literally forgot. Yeah. So the way the table's looking at the minute, Chelsea 3 points behind Leicester, 4 points behind United. Chelsea being unbeaten so far with Tuchel. Do you reckon they could go second this season and probably win a Champions? Are they in the Champions League?
Yes. Yeah, they are.
Yeah,
They
they are.
beat Atletico Madrid 1-0.
Yeah, they're still in the Champions League. Do you reckon they could win a Champions League this season?
no.
Well, the only way I can describe Chelsea at the moment is they don't look incredible, but they look unbeatable, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I get you.
Yeah,
They-
they don't look when they turn up, they don't look like they're going to lose.
But they
look like
don't.
they're going to
Yeah.
roll a team over 5-0. It's a weird one.
It's
So
working
it's
out what his
literally
best
1-0
team is.
Or 1-1.
Yeah.
Yeah,
His
I
defense.
I think their biggest win was 2-0.
Yeah.
That's it so far.
They're basically they're just he's still working out his best team and Tuchel.
Yeah, yeah.
That's a thing, and it's what he's got to
Well-
work out. So
We got the top end of the table. So we got Man City first with 65 points, United second with 51, Leicester third 50, Chelsea fourth with 47, Everton 5th with 46, and West Ham 6th with 45, and Liverpool are just sitting there, 7th place with 43 points. So that's still tight for European and Champions League.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's still really close. I think anyone can finish anywhere at this point.
It'll go down to the last
Yeah.
2 games of the season.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. It's going all the way.
Obviously, with a West Brom win, they're now on 17 points, 3 points, and also Sheffield United got a win. So Sheffield United 14 at the bottom, West Brom 19, 17 points. Fulham still 6 points clear of West Brom, 23 points, and 3 points behind Newcastle and Brighton, who are 17 and 16th.
If we keep performing the way we did today, if we perform like this until the end of the season, I still think we're a bit too far adrift, but it gives us a big fighting chance if we perform for the rest of the season like we did today. We have a serious
goes.
chance.
Slight little bit of hope, and he's like, "Go, stand up,
Bro,
lads."
you don't understand. I cried when Livermore scored that goal against Spurs, and that hope entered
still
my
went
body.
down?
Yeah,
Anyway,
we
moving
still
on.
went down, but
Okay, because obviously I know
Let's
Jim's a very passionate man. He could talk about West Brom for years and
Yeah,
years.
we'll just do predictions real quick. We won't talk much.
Yeah.
We'll just straight outside predictions, and then we'll go.
Okay,
Yeah.
first game is Burnley Arsenal, Jim.
Arsenal 2-0.
Arsenal 2-0.
I'll say 2-1 Arsenal.
2-1 Arsenal.
They're winning either way.
I'm going to say 1-1.
Mhm.
Sheffield United, Southampton.
Oh God.
Jim?
I'll say, you know what, I'm going to go big 3-1 to Southampton.
Oh, okay. Al?
I'm gonna throw up a spanner. I'm gonna say 2-0 Sheffield United.
Ooh.
United.
I'm gonna go in bottom next week.
I'm going to say, I'm going to give this another 1-1 draw. I think there's going to be a lot of draws. Villa Wolves. Okay, we got the derby.
Ooh.
Yep.
Okay.
Villa at home. Jim?
1-1 because Wolves can't do derbies.
1-1. Al?
I don't know. I'm gonna go 2-0 Villa.
2-0 Villa. I feel like Wolves might edge this out. I think they're going to do it 2-1. I think they're going to have the edge this time. Brighton Leicester. Jim?
I'll probably say you know what, I'm gonna go for a 2-2 draw.
2-2 draw. Al?
I was very close to saying the same thing, but I'm gonna say 1-1.
Drop it by 1 goal each.
No, I was sitting there for ages going, I think it's 2-2, and then I changed it. I went, no, 1-1. I don't see Brighton scoring 2 goals.
I think it's going to be 2-0 Leicester.
Okay.
I don't see Brighton scoring 2 goals.
West Brom Newcastle.
That's a big game. 5 at the back versus 5 at the back.
I think based on today's performance, and I shouldn't do that really, but based on today's performance, I've got to give us 3-1.
3-1. Oof.
Just from the chances we created and the way we played today.
Al?
I'm similar. I'm going to say 2-0 West Brom. Maximum's injured.
Almiron's injured.
It's come out today that Richie and Steve Bruce have had a bust up as well.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, I've gone for a 1-1. I've gone for a 1-1. Stalemate. Liverpool, Fulham.
Oh, God.
Liverpool at home.
Liverpool have got...
Form has been poor.
Yeah, but they've got to pull in performances. They've got... I'm going to say they're going to try and put them to the sword, I'm going to say. But they won't score that many, so 2-0.
2-0, Jim. Okay, Al?
I was going to say 1-0 Liverpool.
I've gone 3-0 Liverpool. I think they're going to... It's going to be their chance just to let go and just absolutely...
I thought that against Sheffield United, and that finished 2-0, so...
Okay, Man City versus Manchester United.
I reckon
0-0.
I reckon Man City will probably roll you over at this stage. 2-1.
2-1. I'm going to call 4-2 Man City.
I'm going to say 3-1 City.
Oh, okay, you're not putting 0-0.
He actually wrote it down.
Things are, Al, you might actually be right with that first one, 0-0, because
I know.
Ollie-
I'm gonna
Ollie'll be too
regret
scared.
changing it. I'm gonna regret changing it, but I want City to break the record, so I'm backing
okay,
City.
Spurs Crystal Palace.
Oh,
I reckon this will be another Burnley game. This will. I think everybody's got to hit their stride again. So I reckon 3-0 Spurs.
that is exactly what I thought. 3-0.
Oof. Well, I think Spurs are going to lose 1-0 because they've
Okay.
won 2 on the spin and they're just inconsistent. That's just my opinion.
They are inconsistent, but I think Crystal Palace without Zaha is just crystal play.
And obviously they got Jagielka as well.
Jagielka, Palace. You're right.
You're right,
Ignore me. Ignore me.
bro. You've hit something before you come on for this.
Gary Cahill. I got confused with them both for a second.
Fair enough.
Anyway, Chelsea Everton, big game.
Big game.
Tuchel's been unbeaten. Can he be unbeaten against Everton?
I'd say yeah.
A very physical side Everton are.
I'm gonna say 1-1 because Tuchel won't let them score much, but I don't think they'll score that many either. So as proved today, so I just reckon it'll be a 1-1, but they will score.
Okay, Alex.
I think 0-0.
0-0. I'm gonna go 2-1 Chelsea.
Fairs.
Okay. West Ham Leeds. And West Ham at home.
West Ham 3-0.
Jeez. Okay, Al.
I genuinely don't know. I never know with Leeds. It could be.
Yeah, it could literally. It could turn up.
It
and have
could be
the best
anything.
performance, or it could be absolute.
Leeds can turn up and win 5-0, but they can also turn up and lose 7-1. So fucking.
Yeah.
I beg you go with that scoreline.
I'm gonna say. I'll back Leeds though. I'll say 3-2 Leeds.
Ooh.
I think.
It's funny because I literally just wrote mine, but I'm doing 3-2 West Ham. Yeah.
I'm calling 3-0 West Ham, 2 for Antonio, 1 for Lingard.
Well, we got
Right
one mid game week before next week recording. Man City Southampton. So obviously it'd be an extra game. It's on a Wednesday.
They'll roll them over.
5-0.
Yeah,
5-0 City.
5-0.
4-0.
4-0. I'm gonna say 3-1 to City. And yeah, so that's all the predictions sorted. That's all the games covered. If anyone's got any final questions or
yeah, so I'll do this coverage here, and I'll
Yeah,
say we'll implement this as a new thing every week, and then we can like expand on it if we want at certain points. But lads, who is your player of the week?
Gareth Bale.
Mine is also Gareth Bale.
Lads, never guess what. Mine is also Gareth Bale. it wouldn't have been anybody else, really, would it? Don't need to really explain it that much, do we? Everybody knows.
Performance against Burnley alone is enough.
Yeah,
Fantastic performance. He's getting to where he used to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not much more explanation for that is. We should have we'll have a little animation on the YouTube videos for Gareth Bale Player of the Week with a little trophy. Just something like that.
I like Harry Hill. TV highlights of the week.
Premier League Footballer of the Week. And then he just slides down. Okay.
Yeah. I'm so glad we decided to implement this new thing now where it was the shortest discussion ever.
Literally.
Yes. Oh my God. Can you imagine?
Yeah. Like, oh, here we go. A bit of debate. Hopefully, someone will have something different. No, we all agreed, and we all agreed. And then next week, hopefully, we'll have a different.
Yeah, it was always going to be Bale, though. I think we can all admit that.
I think obviously we just spoke a bit too long. In the first 2 games, we spoke forever.
Yeah. We'll slowly get there, and then obviously, happy to announce that this is now on Spotify. So
and
take a
iTunes.
listen on that.
It's on Spotify and iTunes and YouTube. And if you want, Game of Two Halves will be on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook, where all the highlights and everything will be put on there, or just certain games will be put on there for everyone to watch.
Hopefully.
The social plug, so a Game of Two Halves.
Yes, it should.
It's actually at I_game_2
Two.
half 2.
Yeah.
There's so many underscores in
Yeah.
there.
Good thing I'm not in control of the social. Then Carry
You
on.
are part of the social control, actually. Look at your face.
You control the YouTube, bro.
Good luck with that.
Yeah, cool. So, on that note, we'll call it an end here. I want to thank anyone who listens. Eventually, we'll be able to streamline this a lot more better, and our structure will get there in a few weeks' time.
Yes.
But anyone who does listen, we're very appreciative. We're
Yeah.
expecting no listens, so
For a
just
very
the
long
one
time.
is more than we're. Yeah, just the one we're happy with. So
Yeah.
if you are, thank you for being
Also-
that one person. And Karen, Jim.
Yeah, I was going to say also, if you have any tips or advice for us on how to structure this, or what you think is good and we should keep, what you think could be improved, and just put it down in any comment section or anywhere where you can comment on it, and just let us know, because it would be very
man.
much appreciated. If you have any ideas,
100%.
let us know.
100%. And on that note, I'll bid you all adieu, as will these two, and we thank you for your time. Thank you for listening to us. Good night, and see you next week. Bye, guys.
Thank you. Bye.